Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Hannah, and on my channel I do anti-MLM content. I also have a clothing reselling business on the Poshmark app, so there's lots of Poshmark tips and tricks videos on my channel as well. Today's video I am so excited for. Somebody who still has access to Monat training calls sent one to me. It is insane. I can't even tell you the number of times that my jaw hit the floor the first time that I was kind of like scanning through it. This video is going to be a little on the longer side. It's going to be very juicy. There's a lot of things that they say that confirm a lot of the things that we believe to be true about multi-level marketing. The video that we're going to be reacting to is about 25 minutes long, and it seems to be part of like a series of videos that they call tips from the top. And what I'm gathering is that they have a bunch of top leaders, top earners in Monat get together on a Zoom call. They talk about a certain topic. I don't know if there's other people on the call who are watching it happen live, but regardless, they release the footage after the fact. So what I have for you here is the Zoom recording of this training, and the topic that they're talking about is how to revamp your recruitment contact list. And basically all about how you can build a contact list and then follow up with that contact list and all the strategies and the wording and how you essentially cold message people. So let's go.
Yes, we are live on Facebook. Oh my goodness. So excited that everyone is here. Thank you. Thank you. We are loving these tips from the top, the bingo, everything that goes along with it. And I had to laugh because, you know, this being bingo, let me shut that down so I don't get double noise here. Okay, so I am Natalie, Senior Director of Business Development Education, and I get to be here with all of you to continue this amazing series of tips from the top with the bingo cards. And I started to tell you, my sweet mother-in-law told me this funny joke when I was kind of telling her what we were working on. And she says, you know how to make a room full of sweet old ladies say bad words? And I said, I don't know what. She goes, walk in and yell, bingo. Well, in their case, it's a bad thing, but in this case, it's an amazing thing because you guys are getting all of these tips and tricks right from the top, our top leaders, SEDs. So tonight, you get to hear from Greta out in Arizona and Samantha from Florida, and they are going to talk to you about creating and revamping your lead list. And this is something that you should be, like I said, revamping all the time. So they're going to share their amazing wisdom, and then we're going to have some giveaways at the end. So make sure you stay tuned and are present. So I'm going to turn it over to Greta to share her tips for her list.
I'm ready. Hey guys, I am Greta, SED, MDC, and I've been with Monat for 4.5 years now. And I am ready to share with you the importance of having an evolving contact list and what to do to keep it growing. And then I'm going to pass it over to Sam, and she's going to tell you how to work that list with reaching out and following up. So when you first started, whether that was yesterday or last year or 4.5 years ago, like me, your upline probably told you to start brainstorming a list of people you can talk with about the products in the business, right? In this industry, it's often referred to as a hundreds list, and it's just making a list of 100 people that you know. So not to freak you out, but when I'm telling my team to do this, I tell them to make like a 10,000s list, 10,000 names of people to speak with. And if that sounds scary and impossible, let me just explain it to you.
Who knows 10,000 people? Honestly, I don't even think I know 100 people that are over the age of 18 who would actually be interested in buying these products or joining the business opportunity. A list of 10,000 people, that in itself is just showing us that we're not talking about people we know, okay? We're talking about messaging as many strangers as humanly possible.
If I told you to make a list of 100 names, you could probably sit down with a paper and a pen and get that done in under 30 minutes, right? Maybe you'd scroll your social media, find numbers that you have saved in your phone, just think about the people that you know, your family, your friends, and then you'd be done. And I don't want you to ever be done. I want you to be in the mindset of never actually having this list complete. So you're always thinking of new ways to grow it. Adding one name to your list a day is the minimum if you're serious about growing your organization. If you wake up every morning knowing that you need to connect with just one new person, you'll learn to keep your antenna up. And the quicker you wish to grow, the higher your number of new contacts should be. So that's first and foremost.
She's essentially telling the people on this call that there needs to be an endless chain of recruitment if this scheme is going to work, which is true. And this top leader is advising that you reach out to one new person every day, or you add one new person to your network every single day, which makes perfect sense as to why cold messaging is so prevalent, because eventually that hot market of people that you actually do know is going to dry up, and you're going to be forced to reach out to strangers if you're going to keep this endless chain of recruitment going. And honestly, this sounds so exhausting to me. Scouring social media for strangers and following them and messaging them and pitching to them. Oh my, like it sounds so miserable.
Second, I want you to remember that your business isn't necessarily just going to grow with your list. It's going to grow through your list. And this means not prejudging people and keeping in mind that your list will lead you to other contacts. You guys, I signed up a girl once who just wanted to share with her friends and family because she saw them already asking about Monat. So she thought like, well, I could sign up and get the product pack and they could order from me and I could make a little bit of cash, but she didn't want to do much more than that. So she got a few customers, her mom, her sister-in-law, and she ordered for herself for the discount. She got a little commission here and there, but she also enrolled one market partner. And that market partner is now an AMM on my team. So when you're putting names on this list, think of everyone as a door to a new network, not just that one person being the goal itself.
Look at everyone in the world as a dollar sign and an opportunity. Got it.
And then last order of business before we talk about actually growing this list is remembering that it's okay if people say no or not right now. Oftentimes we begin our business with this team already in mind, right? Like, okay, I'm pretty sure my sister would join me, or I know at the very least my mom will order, right? And sometimes they do, and that's great, but sometimes they don't. And new market partners can get stuck feeling like that might be an indicator that their business isn't going to take off like they thought it would, right? So think about this. If you owned a hair salon, your business plan wouldn't be crafted around if your grandma comes to get her hair done, right? So your business plan for this business shouldn't revolve around just your family and your closest friends either. You need to have a strategy, and your strategy starts with your warmest market, the people that you know best, but it just starts there. It doesn't end there.
Okay, but that logic doesn't work, and that example doesn't apply because owning a hair salon and signing up for an MLM are not the same thing. If you open up a business and you sell a product or a service, it makes perfect sense that most of your client base is not going to be people you know, because what you're offering is actually desirable and there's actually a demand for it, and the customers come to you. Monat is not desirable, and I swear if I said that to a Monat rep, their head would explode, but it's the truth. First of all, it's sold through an MLM business model, which has a bad reputation in itself. Second, there's active lawsuits alleging that Monat makes your hair fall out, which is also not a good look. Number 3, it's really dang expensive. You can buy salon quality hair care and luxury skincare for less money than you can buy Monat for. So the price isn't a selling point. And the fourth and final thing is that if you want to buy Monat, you have to go through a rep. You have to create an account on the website. You have to go through them, which is just a huge hassle. So no, in the end, you can't compare opening a hair salon to selling Monat, because when you open a hair salon, you're serving a clientele of mostly strangers because you have something that they want to purchase. If you're in Monat, then your clientele is going to be mostly strangers because it's your job to go out there and find your own customers. If you're in an MLM, the product that you're selling, it's not very desirable and it's just part of a money-making scheme, and so your job is to reach as far and wide as humanly possible, essentially begging strangers, "Are you interested in my shampoo? Do you want to join my team? Anybody? It's not the same thing. And I said what I said.
And what if all your closest friends and family do join you, right? Day one, you reach out to all these people that you're thinking, I bet they would order. And what if they do? Cool. But where do you grow from there? You have to give your business the respect of a strategy, and you can be spontaneous sprinkled in with that. But an organized strategy is what is going to get you to the next level. So here are a few quick ideas I have for you. First, start with the people top of mind. I saw somebody in the chat say your wedding list. That's perfect. Who are the people that you know that you would invite to a wedding, right? I love the stories of people who kick off their business with their best friends and their family. That was not my journey. So I had to get creative really fast. I have 3 sisters and they've never ordered a thing from me, but they do consistently ask me for freebies. So they want them when they're still not even buying them, right? None of them are on my team. Social media consistency. I know I joke all the time that the thing that I am the most consistent about when I'm talking to my team is reminding them how important consistency is. I'm the most consistent at telling you about it. A good blend of business and non-related business related content on your social media is what's going to attract people to you. I'm a firm believer in attraction marketing. I think when you are being your authentic self and putting yourself out there on social media, you will bring like-minded people to you, and that's really important. But then also putting out calls to action. You cannot just throw spaghetti against the wall and hope something sticks. You have to have a strategy to bring people in, and these are going to be your calls to action. Okay, so this could look like questions and polls in your story, asking about hair type, hair struggles, hair goals, skin concerns, but getting people to answer these questions and get involved in your content. Why? Because when you post about, let's say, dry ends, right? And then leave-in conditioner goes on sale, you have a list of people who have the concern that this product addresses. So a good way to craft content is by constantly thinking about every product and the business itself as a solution. And then you're going to look for people who have that problem, right? So you can go down the product info list or the list of products that we have, and you could say, what is this a solution to? And then that's how you kind of reverse engineer the content that you're going to be posting. But then you have to keep track of the activity, and you have to keep track of the traction that brings and the participation of your audience, right?
Who else has been tapping really quickly through an MLM hunt story and you accidentally hit the poll and then they message you immediately? I can't even tell you how many times I've fallen into this trap. I swear they put the polls right where they know your thumb is going to be clicking through. And it's always, hey, Hannah, thanks for clicking on my poll. How can I help you with your hair concerns? And it's just like, oh God, like it was an accident. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But now when I'm like clicking through an MLM hunt story, I feel like I'm in a minefield. Ah, there's a poll. Remain calm, deep breath. Click carefully. And it wasn't until now that I've seen this evidence of Monat reps being trained to do this, but I could have told you that that was a strategy. They all do it. It's such an obvious like sales and recruitment bait that they put out there, and they're hoping that by you interacting with that thing, it gives them an excuse to slide into your DMs and pitch you something.
Here's why I love the hair quiz as a recruiting tool. When people visit your beauty quiz, it's like this perfect harvest of information that you need from them if they don't order that specific day, right?
The hair quiz that every single Monat rep has in their bio. Show me a Monat rep that doesn't have a Google Doc hair quiz in their Instagram bio. I dare you.
You have their name, their email, their phone number, and all the best products that we could possibly suggest for them in one cute little note. And it's all there for you, right? So you can revisit it at any time. I like to keep my beauty quiz in the milkshake links on my Instagram. I know there's like lots of different apps that you can use for this. I use Milkshake and I put it in my IG bio. So if anyone is ever digging around and they want to see more about what I do, at least they're going to go to the page that collects their information and not just my replicated website where I'll never really even know if they were there or not, right?
It is beyond fascinating for me to watch this video, having the perspective of being anti-MLM. It's the craziest thing to see all of these tactics that I've noticed on social media be confirmed and have evidence of them training on it. And it's interesting that they're proposing this like beauty quiz, hair quiz, whatever, as like a form of customer service almost, like as a way to get information about your customer and provide them with the best products. But personally, what I use the beauty quiz for is to suss out if they're a Monat rep or not. Oh, they have a link in their bio. Okay, good chance they're in an MLM. You click the link, it's a beauty quiz. Ah, yes, Monat. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to figure out what MLM somebody is in. Like they just give off that vibe based on their Instagram. But a lot of times I have to go to the links in the bios and see what kinds of quizzes are on there and see what kind of opportunity language they use in order to be able to figure out which MLM they're in. It's just such a classic telltale sign, and it's very, very entertaining for me to watch them train on it.
Then I take those quiz answers when people fill them out and I create lists using there's lots of different things. You guys, lists are going to be your best friend. I use MailChimp. There are apps for text campaigns as well. And it takes a little bit of time to set up, but then it is a beautiful thing when a sale drops and you can contact everyone at once by creating one campaign and sending it off. And you can also track who opens it, who clicks the link, how many times they open it. But it all starts with sharing your beauty quiz and getting people to answer your calls to action. So you want to keep track. When you post a story poll on your Instagram asking, where my curly girls at, I hope you're keeping a list of all of those answers because you're going to need that. You can also grow your list with events. I always say don't leave an event without booking another one because there are going to be guests there that you don't know. I like to think of my events as like a chain, right? And you don't ever want to break that chain. There's going to be people there that you don't know. You can ask them to host the next one. You can offer an incentive for doing so. Make them fun for two reasons. So the idea of hosting one doesn't seem like a total drag to the people you're trying to be like, you should host one too, right? And also so your prospects can feel like they could and would want to get involved in what you're doing so that they could see themselves doing it and it looks fun and easy to duplicate. Online events are also amazing ways to connect with new people. Ask for referrals, upgrade those VIPs, but write everything down. I don't care how good you think your memory is. It's never better than a written list. And this list is going to be the future of your business, and how well you grow and maintain it will dictate your success, I swear. So get competitive with yourself and your team about how large you can grow this list, but put something on paper if you haven't already. Do that right away. And I'm going to let Sam take it away with what to do once you have these names in front of you.
She pretty much just said the bigger your list of people, the more successful you will be. But again, how exhausting does that sound? Is this what Monat reps consider to be work? Posting polls, making beauty quizzes, making lists of people, and constantly following up and maintaining conversations with them. Maybe this is my antisocial side coming out, but if I had to micromanage that many conversations with strangers on a daily basis, I would have to cry myself to sleep every night. That sounds miserable. But that's the reality of it, okay? Think about it. You're gonna have to be maintaining all of these surface level, small talk kind of conversations with all these different people on social media that you don't even know. And again, that kind of confirms how this is not the same thing as running a hair salon, okay? People come to you when they need that service, when they need a haircut, a hair color, whatever it is. They come to you and you're not managing them. You're not checking in on them. You're not messaging them constantly. It just sounds so unbelievably boring and tedious in my opinion.
Hello, everybody. Yes, Greta, all of that was so amazing. And guys, the thing with the list, okay, because you make the list, you have it, and then you stare at it, right? And you're like, okay, well, what do I do with this list? And a lot of times, a lot of people, they'll do all the things, right? They'll watch the trainings, they'll do the list, they'll do everything. And then it's that action piece. They have analysis paralysis. They're so scared to make that first move, right? And I tell my girls, my new girls all the time, look, your fear of reaching out is because you have an idea of what you think they're already going to say before you even offer it, right? And so stop, take that emotion out of it, okay? Think of it like you're talking to your best friend about, we are going to this restaurant next weekend. It is the best food that I've ever had in my entire life. It is such a vibe. Wear your best outfit. She's not going to say no, is she? Right? So when you guys are overthinking it and you're putting so much emotion into it and you're putting all these feelings, it becomes more about you and not about the opportunity, not about what this can do for somebody else. Okay. So I urge you guys to really take that list and you can separate it, right? You can look at it and you can say, who are the top 20 people that I feel most comfortable with telling me absolutely not, right? Who are these people that I'm most comfortable with that I can just practice on? And I tell my new girls, look, I don't want you to go have the expectation that everyone you reach out to on this list is going to say yes to you. That is not the case, but most of the times, no means not right now. Okay, so I want you guys to go into this, this reaching out, right? This first initial contact that you have with someone as you are planting the seed.
Absolutely not. No means no. No does not mean not right now. Me saying no is not your invitation to keep harassing me, and that's disgusting that they train to look at it that way.
And you guys have so many resources at your fingertips. Number one, all of these calls and all the calls that they do on Market Partner Academy. I'm sure your team has calls, but right on your back office, guys, I'm sure you don't even know. If you go into your resource library and then you click on your business, there is a tab called Share. Okay. And it gives you so many different ways that you can share this business, your contact list. Let's get social, how to share. This is my son drew on it, but this is what me and some of my team is doing right now, the Go for No challenge. And so it's forcing me to get out of my comfort zone again and offer this business, follow up with people, etc. All right. So one of the things that I want when you are reaching out for the first time to someone, understand that your energy is going to introduce the business before anything you say. Okay. Be excited and be confident. Know that you know more than this person, even if you signed up 2 minutes ago. Okay. You know more than them. And so if you sound nervous and you sound unsure, then they're going to feel that. Right. And when they feel that type of energy, they become unsure. They close down and they say, okay, I'm going to see how you do because you seem super nervous. I'm going to see how you do. And then I'll join, right? Like, put a 1 in the chat if someone's ever said that to you.
This idea of someone who just joined Monat sliding into my DMs and thinking that they know the nitty-gritty details of Monat better than I do has me dying. And I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal here like I know everything. That's not it. But let's be honest with ourselves here, that if they really read the policies and procedures start to finish, if they really understood the compensation plan, if they really took a hard look at the income disclosure statement, they most likely would not have made the decision to join in the first place, and they wouldn't be in my DMs. It doesn't take a genius to realize that Monat is a scam, and all of those resources are available for you on the Monat website. But it does take time, and it does take energy, and it does take effort, and it does take true research and looking at it with a critical eye, which I just feel like a lot of people don't do before they join. Because who wants to read the company's documents? That's boring. It's a lot easier and it's a lot more enjoyable to just join on the hopes and dreams that you're going to make a ton of money, you're going to live a lavish lifestyle, you're going to go on paid for vacations, you're going to drive a Cadillac. And unfortunately, it's that false idea that gets a lot of people sucked into these businesses, only for them to realize later down the road that it's not all it's cracked up to be. But all of that aside, this language about choosing people to practice on and faking confidence, it all just feels really icky and disingenuous. It's just confirming what we already know, that cold messaging is going to be a huge part of your job duties, and you're going to feel the need to turn every little tiny interaction and conversation into a pitch.
And so here's the thing. Be excited, be confident, okay? Your number one objective here is to invite them for more information, all right? This can be done by a video. This can be done on Friday night where we have our CEO, president talking about what our company is about, right? There's videos you can share. There's so many different resources for this. Your job is to excite them and invite them. So number one, a good way to get over or to get past word vomiting, right? When I first started, guys, you should have seen the messages that I sent. It was so bad. They were paragraphs on paragraphs, and I'm still an SCD, so obviously I figured it out along the way, but let me save you the trouble and tell you a few different ways that you can kind of craft this message or whatever that you're sending to somebody. Number one, voice noting, okay? You might have to record it a few times, but when you're voice noting, it's a lot better than looking at 3 paragraphs long of what somebody is saying, okay? So even picking up the phone and calling in your warm market, your hot market, these top 20 people you feel most comfortable with, you probably talk to these people on a regular basis, right? Pick up the phone and call them. You're going to be excited. You're going to be like, hey, I know this sounds crazy. I have this really amazing opportunity, the products, the compensation plan, the business. It seems right up your alley, like you're so good on social media, or maybe, we have to figure out why they would be good at this. And that's why there's not one message I can give you guys to send to 25 million people, right? Because everybody needs this business for for a certain reason. And you're going to know that when they are in your warm market. So if you have a girlfriend who just lost her job to COVID, you're like, no, girl, like, come listen to this video. I promise you, you can make money tomorrow. Like, the products are great. The business is great. We need to figure something out to get you going and making you money and helping your situation, right?
Tell me again how this isn't predatory. Oh, you have a friend who's really down on their luck and struggling? Recruit them. That's going to solve all their problems. Let's not forget that the purpose of this call is to help people be more successful at selling the product and recruiting people and therefore making more money. Money is the motive. People want to learn strategies to make them more money. And a person at the top rank of the company is advising that you recruit your vulnerable friends who have been negatively impacted by a global pandemic in order to make money on them. I cannot. I don't know when this video was originally posted. I think it might have been a few months ago. But as of October 4th, Monat Compliance has a new rule that they cannot promote the products or the business opportunity in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic. They can't say this business helped my finances. They can't say, oh, I'm so glad that I can work from anywhere and that I didn't lose my job. And as of October 4th, they can be reported to their own compliance department for that. And you cannot convince me that their true motive is like, oh, I'm just helping a friend in need and I'm providing them with a life-changing opportunity. No. In my opinion, that's just a lie that they tell themselves to make them feel more comfortable with their decision to recruit a vulnerable and newly unemployed friend in order to make some money off of that situation.
When you are so sure of this, and that's going to come through listening to everybody's stories that is successful in this business, getting to know the company and who they are and why they are the way they are, that's going to give you confidence talking about it. Okay. Let me hurry up. Now, my second point, why would they be great at this? Like I said, it's easy for us to talk about us, or it's easy for us to talk about money and like completely go off the walls. So when you write something out or you're saying something, it's a simple switch. Okay. My girlfriend Aspen taught me this, but she said, look at all the times you're saying me, this is what this is doing for me, or what I've gotten from this. Switch it to you. Okay. Switch it to you. And that is one simple switch that you can make to recraft this message, to make it seem like they're already seeing themselves in this business. They're already seeing what this could do for them. And they don't even know what you're talking about yet. Okay. So speak to people's pain points. And then lastly, like I said, invite them for more information, right? So you're not just going to jump into the business. Check in on them. Hey girl, how are you doing? How are the kids? I know we're back to school. Listen, I've been wanting to run this by you for a few days now, so I'm just going to shoot my shot. I know you're amazing on social media. I know that you've been looking for something more as far as a community goes, and I have the perfect thing for you. You know, like whatever. And then you can say, I have a call at 8:30 tonight. You can turn off your camera, throw in some headphones, and listen at what this could do for you. Can I send you the link? Right? Invite them for more information, whether you're having an event, you have a video, or there's a call happening, right? There's always something going on. So as you're funneling this list, you're gonna be good.
Again, this is fascinating to watch because I have personally experienced all of the tactics that she's explaining right here. As much as like, hey hun, join my team is a stereotype, they really are starting to get away from that format of messaging and they're starting to get sneakier. There's a lot more build-up, there's a lot more relationship formation, there's a lot more questioning because the MLM rep is trying to build some form of like authentic or genuine connection, which is ironic because that's the farthest thing from authentic or genuine, right? You have an ulterior motive, you have an end goal, you're just taking all these phony steps leading up to it to make it appear more real. But MLM reps know that people are weary of this hey hun stereotype these days. So they're trying to make it seem like they actually care. They're trying to make it more of like a personal connection, right? They're sending you a voice note. They're trying to get you on a Zoom call with them. They're sending you a link for an opportunity call. And the purpose of using all these tactics is to make it seem more personal than just that classic copy and paste hey hun message. In fact, earlier this year, I had a Monat rep cold message me, and I just played along. What that resulted in was me sitting in a Zoom call with her and her upline for over an hour while they tried to recruit me. It was very fascinating to hear the language and to see how they try and overcome objection and to see how they were kind of dodging my direct questions and stuff like that. But I can 100% confirm that this is exactly how Monat reps are approaching cold messaging these days. It's far more than just a hey hun message. It is much more manipulative. It takes much more time, and they come back time and time again to really try and build you up in order for them to be able to pitch to you eventually.
Okay, now let me go to the follow-up part and then I'll close this out. Following up is key. Like I said, the first time you talk to someone, they most likely are not going to say yes. Just be aware of that. The average person needs up to 7 exposures to say yes to something. So please, for the love, do not get discouraged. Like in your first week, guys, Rome was not built in a day. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. You got to remember that. All right. Every time you talk to someone, you are planting that seed, and it's up to you to go back and water it through posting, through following up, through hosting events, through checking on them, right? Following up is not just about the business. Like Greta said, you have to continue that relationship.
As someone who has been continually messaged and harassed by the same MLM reps over and over again, this is so infuriating for me because it's not good advice. And at least for me personally, if you're going to treat me that way, all that's going to do is annoy me and make me less interested in whatever you're trying to sell. My no is not a challenge for you to try and overcome.
Some things that you need in your follow-up, okay? First, if they say no at first, which they probably will, they'll probably give you a reason why, or you should ask why. Write that down on your list. Why are they saying no? You know, what is the reason why? We need to know that. Continue the relationship outside of the business. And when you go to follow up, you guys have to ask for the sale, okay? You can't just be like wishy-washy. Are we doing this or what? Like, where's your head at? Don't leave me hanging. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, are you on a 1, you're going to hang up the phone. On 10, you're ready to sign up right now, right? When you have the power, you have the golden ticket. Okay. So they don't control this whole scenario. You do. Some things I have in every follow-up message. Okay. I'm overcoming the objection they originally gave me, right? Overcome the objection. If it's money, let's find a way that they can make the money. Hey, we have an incentive, $50 off, free shipping on product packs, whatever it is, okay? An incentive the company is putting on. What do you guys have right now in your hands until the end of the month that you can get have an incentive to talk about? Vegas, they're Vegas qualified first month. I'm also doing urgency, okay? We have trainings for new girls from the 1st to the 5th. So I'm like, girl, I want to get you in on this training. You're going to hit the ground running. You're going to be able to make your money back super quick. It's a perfect time for you to get started. Okay. And then, like I said, I asked for the sale. Are you ready to do this with me? Is there anything that's holding you back? Right? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at with getting started? So a rule of thumb with any message that you guys are sending about the business or the products, I want you to read it back to yourself out loud and say, would I respond to this? Okay. A lot of times we write way too much. We can go back and erase a third of it and get to our point and get them excited. So on Friday night, there's a call with Stuart, Ray, Luis, talking about the business opportunity. You guys have something that these people can be on at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. They just have to throw in headphones and listen. So I want all of you guys tonight and tomorrow to follow up and reach out with a minimum of, they said a minimum of 5. Can I tell you guys a minimum of 30? Like, stop doing the minimum. Okay. Go more, do more. All right. Reach out to people about the business. Okay. I think I went over, but I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will hand it off to the next person.
You guys were perfect with the timing. You were perfect with the tips. You were just perfect. The comments in the chat, I could tell they were all paying attention, and one message fed perfectly into the next one. So just to recap, the IPAs that are on your bingo card that you want to check off is from Greta's challenge is to create and refresh that contact list, right?
I'm sorry, are we playing bingo? Is that what I'm hearing? Is it like you do these tasks and then you check off these squares on your bingo card? I don't know, depending on the prize, I might be convinced, but I haven't had like a bingo incentive program since like 3rd grade.
And then I'm going to double check, reach out to, you said 5, but let's go for 10 new people from your contact list. And we're going to say a quick thank you to Samantha, because being a leader that she is, she's got an 8:30 call with her team that she's got to hop off for and get ready for, but she did not want to miss being a part of this. So we'll let you go while we wrap up and do the prizes, because we don't want anybody to miss that. So we hope these bingo cards, the tips from the top and everything, that you are taking these to heart and applying them. Like Sam said, is don't just stare at the list. Don't just stare at the tips that you get from this. Do something with the information. And I just wanted to comment, one of the first things that Greta said that I just loved was that each person is a door to another person. I mean, think about it. So even if it might not be the right time, the right product, or right anything for anybody else, don't we all love, especially in today's world, to be the bearer of great information and great ideas, to share with somebody, oh my gosh, I thought of you when I saw this. This would be great. So even if they don't have an interest, they very well might know somebody who does. So reach out to all of them, because you don't know who needs what we have. And you, depending on what time when you offer it, could be a different response every single time. So continue reaching out.
It's this language that they really do feel like they have like a gift to give people or something. A gift of debt, a gift of constant team calls, a gift of cringy cold messaging. Like, what are we talking about here? And it almost feels like they're kind of intentionally distancing themselves from what's really going on here. The reality that you want to recruit as many people as possible so that you can make money off of their efforts, that's not a very attractive way to view your purpose in this business. So they're trained with this language of like, you have a gift to offer somebody and you have the door to this incredible opportunity and you need to share it with everybody. It just gives people this weird savior complex that completely overshadows the true reason that they're all there, which is to just make money. They're not pitching the opportunity because they want to change someone's life. They're not pitching the products because their passion is to help people with their hair and skin problems. They're not pitching the opportunity to somebody because they truly think that that person is a natural born shampoo salesperson. No, okay, they're only doing all of that because that's what makes them money. The rest of this call is just them like handing out incentive prizes, so I'll spare you that. But the thing that I'm taking the most from this training call is that there's a lot of mental gymnastics that goes on in convincing yourself that what you're doing is right and ethical. Please remember that money is the motive, and people in MLMs will say and do whatever they need to do to try and convince you to join. And that's all I have for you for this video, but of course I have a comment shout out. This one says, Hannah, no pressure, but I believe your cat needs his own channel. Cooper didn't make any appearances in this video, but he really does just love to waltz in and out of frame like he owns the place. Thank you for being tolerant to the fact that sometimes I have a cat literally sitting in the frame and I'm like trying to talk around him. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next one real soon.